starting safety Jamoris Slaughter. Jamoris, thank you for taking some
No
time
problem.
to talk with us and talk about that role, because I know you've embraced it. You're now your fifth-year guy. You're one of the old guys.
Yeah, I'm an old guy this year.
And one of the few units on this team that doesn't have much experience, the secondary, how are you embracing that role? How are you helping all the youngsters back there get up to speed on what they need to do to play at this level?
It's a lot of times when the young guys come up to me or Zeke and, they ask about this play or ask what is this coverage or what's the signal for this, because, these guys just got these calls this summer. So I take the time out just to bring guys, do extra film after film, always trying to help guys out, give them an edge. I've been in their shoes before. Been in the same situations where I really wanted to learn something, and I would never put what I had to do in front of another player that really wants to learn and get to know this defense.
Well, I mean, like I said, Jack was saying your fifth year, and the inexperience in the secondary, being that lead person. I came into a situation at Notre Dame similar to that, where I was an athlete and I wound up on the defensive side of the ball, and had a mentor in Todd Light and what he brought to the table for me. What happens off the field in terms of that transitioning or giving guys some of that information or knowledge of how to handle things off the field that doesn't really translate until you get on the field and you see that guy line up next to you? How have you impacted these guys off the field to help develop that camaraderie and that trust?
I remember when the freshmen first got here in the summer, I think it might have been the first weekend or so, and guys, all wanted to go out. And, I told the guys I would go out with some of the freshmen just to, take them out, show them different places around town just so they could get familiar. And, a lot of the guys, they wanted to do a little bit more than what they could handle right now. And I just, preach to them that, you got to really watch yourself out here. A lot of people going to look out for you, but people know who you are in South Bend. You're a Notre Dame football player. People can tell who you are, so you really got to think twice about things. And, you get the practice, and then you see guys that actually listen to what you said, and, they're really into their books, into their playbooks, and, they really – you can look at them and tell that they understand and they get what's going on. So I think this freshman class is pretty good. They really want to learn, and they're going to come out to be some great players in the end.
Now, I don't know how much you know about my buddy here, Reggie. Probably he was an All-American running back here.
Oh,
but
yeah.
He also played in the secondary for Lou Holtz. Now, he may have shifted back there kicking and screaming, but he did play in the secondary. For players like you, how important is it to have a guy like Reggie on the athletic department staff and to be around and somebody you can go talk to who's not officially necessarily on the football staff but is always there to give you his perspective?
When I met Reggie, I feel like every time I meet Reggie, he always trying to make sure I'm on point because he's been in my shoes before, and he's done it all, and now he's back, and it's always good to have somebody like Reggie who been in your shoes before and can check you here and now and then. So even when it's things that doesn't have to do with football, trying to get my resume right, giving me pointers about, trying to get a job, or if I do go to the NFL, how to manage money. Reggie always puts, wise and wonderful things in my head.
Wow, really? I mean, I love you. The check is in the mail.
Let me be honest with you here. At times, since I didn't play at this level, if a game doesn't go well and there may be some execution breakdowns or stuff, I sometimes try to come up with excuses for you guys as players. And Reggie in particular, and Mirko Jurkovic, my other post-game colleague, also Notre Dame All-American, always slap me down and start to say, no. That's the responsibility of the players. That's the responsibility of the veterans. They have to execute. Do you agree with that kind of perspective?
I definitely agree. A lot of people like to place the blame on coaches, or, it's everybody always try to place the blame on something. At the end of the day, it's the players out there playing. And, you got to have leaders on each team. Leaders, build championship teams. So I think, at the end of the day, you got to have guys that really want to do the right thing and willing to tell someone else, even though, it's not the cool thing to do, or sometimes you feel like it's the wrong thing to do, but really it's the right thing to do. So when you got players like that, I think a lot of good things will happen for that team.
When you were kind of talking about some of the young guys and kind of helping them out, which not to name names. Well, yeah, let's name names. I mean, because I've had a chance to talk to a few of the incoming freshmen and some of the younger guys. Who has stepped up to you of that group of young guys or non-veteran guys that really haven't seen? Which one of the secondary members that have stepped up their game and you've seen that, what you were talking about, guys that have kind of listened to the words of wisdom?
I would say Matthias Farley and Kavari Russell are two names that I could pick out just right off the top. Matthias, he really played receiver his redshirt freshman year. He just really started playing safety in the spring. So the strides that he's made since the spring now, and could possibly be a starter in like one of our packages. I think he's really stepped his game up. He really hones in on what the coaches say and even what I say. He came up to me the other day and said, he really appreciate all the time that I take out, that's not within the schedule with him and trying to teach him. Kavari Russell, he's just a guy that in the same situation. He was a receiver and they just moved him over right before camp to DB, and he's picking it up really quick. So I'm glad I can be there, be a leader for these guys, and at the end of the day they can say that Jamoris Slaughter helped me out to be the player I am. So it's good.
You and Zeke are the leaders right now of this secondary. You're the veterans. Austin Collinsworth was supposed to be in the mix, but the shoulder injury knocked him out of the picture. So do you approach that any differently? Because, no one's irreplaceable, but this team's going to need you and Zeke available on the field on just about every snap.
Yeah. The coaches always stress that to me and Zeke, always be on top of our game, always coaching the young guys. Coach Elliott, he's been great, and Coach Cooks, with just, sometimes in practice, me and Zeke don't get as much as attention as we used to. So we have to always be on top of our game, and me and Zeke coach each other, tell us something, tell each other, okay, you could have did that better, or, that was a good play. Always watching extra film, just always watch the younger guys. Sometimes I remember last year I just used to go in and watch myself at practice, but now this year, since I'm in that leadership role, I'm watching a lot of the younger guys, and I'll go up to them just randomly out the day. I'm like, hey, you got beat on that slant. You got to get your feet right. So I think that's the type of things you need to do at the end of the day if you want to be, a great team.
Well, you're also going to be trotted out to meet the media all the time, too, and you're doing a great job. Thank you so much.
Nope.